Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damien Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, guys. So now we move on to the wonderful and colorful Asylum, in all its vibrant bliss. Vibrance. Kiss Asylum, released in 1985 on Mercury Records, produced by Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, recorded at Electric Ladyland, Ray Track Studio in New York. It's their, let's say, yeah. All right. So let's just go. It's their 13th studio record, too. First one where Bruce Kulick's actually officially on it, right?
Co-wrote quite a bit of songs on there, too.
Yeah. So let's take it back to.
You got a lot of. I only got 10 songs on here. Did I miss something?
No, there's only 10 songs.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's 10 songs of bedazzled Golden Girls ever. Here we go. Going at number 10, Secretly Cruel. What do you got, Damo?
One of my least favorite songs. I should have reversed the scores with this and Radar for Love. Not that it makes that big of a difference, but from what I understand, I think this song was around for a while. You know, Gene is known to like recycle songs and go back. Hey, let me go revisit this song that I wrote 37 years ago and never used it. But it definitely does kind of sound like it could have been written around the Love Gun period, maybe. But I don't know. It never really did anything for me. I gave it a 6.
Okay, Matt, what do you think? Secretly Cruel.
See, I think you're right on the money. This one, it sounds like he took two different songs and shoehorned them together. Because when you start off look, this girl that he's singing about, she has his pictures on the wall. So look, you're a sure thing, right? She's wearing lingerie and high boots, and she's all over him like a cheap suit. Come on, what's not to love, right? But then all of a sudden, like a total monkey wrench. But she's secretly cruel. I don't know. She sounds like a pretty fun time, and it's like those two things, they just don't kind of match. It's like the chorus ought to be, I think I found the greatest woman on the planet, but it's like, so I'm not really sure. She never appears to be cruel, but secretly, I guess she is.
Yeah, maybe secretly, it's a secret.
So I threw this at a 7 just because I thought it never quite sounded like a cohesive song.
Mike D?
So I'm going to I took some shrooms before I listened to this album.
And stared at the album cover.
And I don't know if it was a good thing.
Colors!
Yeah. No, I didn't think it was a good thing to do that because it really set me off in a bad mood. I gave this one a 4. This was my second lowest on the album. I couldn't take this one. I wasn't a fan of this one at all.
Wow. I'm looking at your scores.
And I usually like Gene stuff. This just, no. Sorry, can't do it.
What'd you give it?
A 4.
A 4. Wow. Oof. Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, and that's not Mike's lowest score either. Just
no, it's not.
Just to put it out there. Secretly Cruel, I gave it a 7.5. I think Gene's voice sounds really good on this tune. The music's hooky. The chorus is okay. It's a decent deep cut. That's the way I can put it for that. Coming in number 9. I'm a little surprised there, but coming in number 9. All Night. What do you got, Damo?
Man, look, I love this song. I'm surprised it wasn't like a hit, like a big hit.
Oh no!
At the time,
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
I agree with Damien.
It was written by Paul and Desmond Child and Jean Beauvoir, and it's a really stupid, catchy song. So I gave it an 8.5.
I called him John Bevere forever.
John Beauvoir.
To the last couple of years. I thought it was Bevere.
He's French.
He's French, Beauvoir. What do you got, Matt?
You know, I think out of everything that we scored on both albums, this is the one that got the lowest score for me out of 6. And like now look, I think Damien, what was the line you just said? It was stupid fun or whatever.
Yeah,
In my note I wrote it's super fun, but it's just so corny. And this is one that really just hasn't aged well. Like in 1985, you know, they have in the video the nurses are all dancing and synchronized dancing as they push the bed.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a teenager and you think, oh, this is the greatest. I think it's one of those when it comes on, I will always smile and kind of laugh and kind of look around to see who's watching that. You know, but it's funny how this one, when you think about Dress to Kill album and this 10 years apart, this is the same vibe. Prison starts at 8:45. I don't want to go to work. I want to be home, you know, all night, you know, or I got to get away. And it's just, you know, so I don't know. This one, I think as much as I like it, it's so stupid, but you know, in a fun way, but really goofy.
Yeah, here it comes. Mike D.
This is probably my least favorite Kiss song of all time.
Really?
This probably, yes. And I probably gave this a higher ranking than I should have with a 2. I could have easily gave this a 0.5. I hated it. I hated this one. At this point, those shrooms kicked in, man. I felt, I thought I had Gene on this side, Paul on this side, and they're both hip thrusting into my freaking ears.
You got a sandwich.
Yes, this was.
What was that thing for that movie? The meat sandwich? Some kind of meat sandwich?
I felt like the filling in a meat sandwich. This. Thank God they put this one on last because you could just go stop on the record.
I actually have a pretty long thing here I wrote down for this one. I gave All Night an 8.5, and let me explain.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you two?
I'm in the same way with Damien.
We like fun. We like stupid fun, Mike.
You got to let me explain it, though.
We like brainless fun.
I actually had to think a little hard on this one. I did. Because the 12-year-old me played the shit out of this song over and over again, where the 51-year-old me sees it a bit corny. So I met myself somewhere in the middle, you know? That's why I look at it. Okay, so the lyrics are not the best, but it is so damn hooky, and the chorus sticks in your head. So there are things I like about the song. It's almost the same way I look at Tomorrow and Tonight from Love Gun. First time I heard it, I played the shit out of it. 1,000,000 times I played it. And now it's not that high on my list. Getting older really sucks.
Right.
No, it just makes you see things a little bit better.
Yeah, but you know what? I was on the Jericho cruise last weekend, or a couple days ago, and he does Quarantine, which is total 80s Kiss set, and they played some of these songs, and guess what? I was smiling ear to fucking ear because I love hearing them. Even though they don't rank high and they're not the greatest songs, I just love hearing them. They're fun.
I need to get another thing in here, too.
Go ahead.
Because they need to bring outside writers in for this one. Like,
what?
Like,
John
this is like
Boy
probably the most simplest song to write. They had to bring outside writers in for this monstrosity.
Well, Mike, when you work all day, you want to all night. you know,
it sounds like something that could have come out of like some kind of really odd like Broadway show when they do that. And you work all day, like you picture the whole line.
Just in this hip thrust,
right? But not with Gene and Paul on each ear.
I felt like I was getting sprayed by their white makeup on this one.
Mike probably thought he was going skiing. Mike's going skiing. You're going skiing, Mike. There you go. Watch the slopes.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 8. Coming to number 8, Radar Love, Damo.
Not one of my favorites. This is them. This is like their version of Black Dog. It's like, and Paul's attempt at writing a Zeppelin song, because he tried to do it on Animalize with Get All You Can Take. That was like very, very Zeppelin-esque. But yeah, I don't know, man. I never got into this song. I think part of the reason like some of these songs got like a low rating is because I don't like the tones on this record. I just don't like the way it sounds sonically. But yeah, with that being said, I gave it a 6.5. I should have gave it a 6, really. I was being generous.
I'll take care of
Okay.
Matt, what you got on Radar Love?
Yeah, I put this as a 7. I agree with Damien. This is definitely Kiss trying to do Led Zeppelin. This one, the funny thing is the lyrics on this. It feels too much like he's just bragging. The girls don't, the guys don't get it, but the girls are going wild for me. And you go, oh, okay, we get it, we get it. You're the star child, you're the lover, but I don't know. It's not one of my favorites.
Mike D.
I gave this one a 5. I mean, this is pretty much what Damien said, but I had like my notes for this was just a bad Zeppelin clone.
There you go. I gave it a 7.5. As soon as you hear it, you hear the Zeppelin influence. That's what I got. Not a bad tune. Kind of like the chorus. It's just okay. Going on number 7. Any way you slice it, Damo.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm trying to find my notes here.
We're
Okay.
live, pal.
I got it. I found it here. This is probably, yeah, this is probably one of the better Gene songs on this record. This is pretty solid song, and another like underappreciated song, I think. I gave it a 7.
Okay. Matt, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I also gave it a 7. I mean, to me, it's a good song, but the lyrics it's that kind of rhyming nonsense. He's just doing Moon June Spoon, like I don't know. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of real heart to it. But I mean, it's musically, I think it's good. I think his lyrics are just really kind of weak, but.
Yep. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I gave this one a 6. And again, usually I like Gene stuff. Like Matt said, the lyrics are very cheesy on this one. Music wise, not bad. I gave this one a 6.
Okay, I gave Anyway You Slice it a 6.8. Typical Gene tune lyric wise. Starts off with a chunky guitar. I do like his voice and the verse melody. It's a fun little deep cut track. And, not another bad tune, but definitely a filler track for me. Coming in at number 6, Love's a Deadly Weapon. What you got, Damo?
This is a killer tune, man. I like this one a lot. I think it's got some killer bass playing, almost like, I don't want to say thrashy, but definitely like on the like faster like speed metal side. This would have been a good like opener, like live opener, or maybe even like coming in second or something. It's a shame they never really did anything with this song. I gave it a 7.5.
Okay, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, I put this in at an 8, and it's funny, like you're talking about it more of a like a thrashy kind of. It's because if you look on the credits of this, it's Gene and Paul, but it's Rod Swenson and Wes Beach, which is the Plasmatics. So it's like you can imagine this with like Wendy O. Williams singing it, and if you imagine this as like a Plasmatics or a Wendy O. Williams, and you figure Gene had just done Wendy O. Williams, the WOW album in 82. So it probably was laying around from that. But imagine her singing this song and you kind of go, that would have been heavy.
Yeah.
And so I have a feeling this song has some kind of overlap between those collaborations. And I think that's why we're getting such a heavy sound from Kiss on that. But I like it.
Cool. Mike B.
Yeah, I gave us a 6.25. I gave us a little Damien score there.
There you go.
I don't know. This was all right. I like the heaviness of it. I felt like this was part 2 to I'm Alive for some reason. They were back to back, and it felt like they were almost the same song. I don't know.
Gotcha. Love's a Deadly Weapon. I gave it a 7. Good riff into a blistering short little Bruce solo. There's definitely a lot of energy to this record. If anything, it's got energy. I just don't think the chorus is that great. Another decent filler track for me. And speaking of I'm Alive, it comes in at number 5. I'm Alive. What you got there, Damo?
Too many women, too little time. Isn't that? I love it. Great song, man. It's a fun song. It's a real like high energy, fast paced tune. Got some killer drum stuff going on. I gave it an 8.
Okay, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, I put this as an 8 too, and again with the same thing. It's fast, and this is one where it really stands out. Like Bruce is doing some really cool stuff, especially right at the start. He's got that like dive bomby and then he's doing all this shredding underneath. And I think this song more than almost any other one, you really hear him going crazy. Now, this one again kind of goes a little goofy on the lyrics, give me a nurse. And it reminded me of the Love Gun talk up at that time, where this nurse comes in
Yeah.
and I have my 501 jeans and,
Yeah.
and you're like, this song is probably came out of when he's thinking of things to say for the Love Gun intro. He's thinking of that, but I like it. I mean, it's maybe more aggressive than some of the other songs on the album, which I like.
Mike D, I'm alive.
I gave this a 5.5. I felt like I was listening to Van Halen with way too much Paul.
Paul Halen.
Paul Halen. That's pretty funny.
Van Stanley.
I'm alive. I gave a 7.25. Same thing. The best part of the song is the energy. It's got a lot of energy. Not a bad tune. Straightforward rock. I do dig the breakdown part with the dives. You're saying with the guitar parts. Yeah, I mean Bruce is so good on it though. Bruce is really good on this record. He's a great player. Coming at number 4, Trial by Fire, Damo.
Man, I like everything about the song except the chorus. I don't like the chorus for some reason. I don't know. But I thought it was still good. I gave it a 6.95, not quite a 7, but pretty damn close.
Pretty close. What you got, Matt?
So, look, I think this is one of my more favorite songs on the album. I gave it a 9 because to me, this is the Gene that you want, is that powerful, we're going to rule the world kind of guy. I mean, he says, I've only got one life to live. I'm going to live it. Oh, yeah. He's not asking. He's telling you he's going to do it. And I mean, it really, to me, it could be like a brother song to It's My Life. We talked earlier about that was the first song on that playlist that I made. That's one of my favorite songs that they never really did.
That's crazy, right?
And it really, that should have been a huge hit. But when you think about this one and that one together, it really is. It's like that motivational. Like if you're ever feeling down in the dumps and you don't have cold gin, you got to listen to this because it really, he's telling you we're gonna do it. And I've always loved this. I always loved that part of it, like Gene as the powerful, versus the contrast from when we just talked on Dress to Kill. He's getting cheated on. Here, man, you're not cheating on this version of Gene. So
right. So before we go to Mike here, I do want to ask you, It's My Life, right? What album do you think that would have been perfect on?
There's a demo as early as Creatures.
Yeah, and the probably would have fit on Creatures, right?
It's on the expanded version of
Creatures. You got it on the box set. That's the heaviest version, and really, if you listen to that, but again, going back to the Wendy Williams version that's on her album, that's the best version of it. Imagine that heavy production, but with Gene doing like those growling vocals that would have come out at Creatures of the Night or Lick It Up era. Would have been perfect for that. And even when they finally released it in 2001 on that box set, it's the Psycho Circus version of it. Right. Now they're a little older, they're tired. It's good, but it's not as good. That original version, and really, like I said, the Wendy Williams version, that version is the one that they should have had with Gene's vocal. Just angry and like, when she sings it, when shout it from the roof and face up to the truth, it's my life. That's double middle fingers in the air. Yeah. You don't argue with her. She's telling you this is my life and F you. And I think we need more of that right now than ever. So it just really, that gets off on a sidetrack of songs that really should have been huge for Kiss. But, and I don't know that this is as good as that, but I always like Trial by Fire quite a bit. So.
I just would love to know what song was the one that kicked out that song to stay on the record.
I don't know. You know what? I haven't really heard much about it other than Gene in one interview kind of said, well, Paul didn't like it. Go, okay. So
that's that.
Yeah. There you go.
Mike D, Trial by Fire.
I gave this one a 6.5. It wasn't one of my favorite ones. And like Damien said, the chorus for me really didn't hit the mark, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, Trial by Fire, I gave a 7.25. I like the music. It has like an 80s soundtrack feel to it, like a movie. Right. Like, one of those teen, kind of like something we would have grew up with in the 80s, The chorus is pretty catchy for as simple as it is. It's another deep cut. Not bad. I was surprised it actually ranked as high as it ranked for all of us. Yeah, so let's move on to the top three. Here we go. Coming to number three, King of the Mountain. What do you got, Damo?
Man, I love the song. When I first heard it with that killer drum intro, you know, Eric Carr does almost like a drum solo in the beginning of the track, and another high energy one. Great opener. I gave it an 8.
Okay, cool. Matt?
Yeah, I also had this as an 8, and you talk about a song that should have been in an 80s movie. This one should have been a training montage. When you
Yeah.
think of Rocky 4 where he's climbing through the snow, it really, this song I think would have been custom made for maybe a C grade Sylvester Stallone movie.
Over the
I
top.
love it. I mean,
Over the
with
top.
Eric Carr, the drumming on this, it really makes you just go. Eric Carr is such a monster, and yeah, I think a great album opener as far as kicking off the album. I think it's fantastic.
Mike D.
I gave us a 6.5. And I'm like, it sounds like the intro is really cool. It starts off really cool. And then Paul arrives, and it just ruins everything for me, especially like the 1980s Paul, where he's like even higher than normal. So, yeah.
Wait till you hear Crazy Nights out.
All right, somebody get Mike some sequin gloves. We got to get him into this here.
With fringes.
Right.
I think that'll work, Mike. I think that'll work. He's already ordering the wig. He really said he's getting the wig. So that'll be good. Oh, man. King of the Mountain, I gave it an 8.25. I think it's a great opening track to the record. I love the drum sound on it. Straightforward, in-your-face rock. A decent verse, decent chorus, but it's so aggressive. The music is really aggressive. Bruce's solo and the melodic breakdown part with all the voices makes the song really cool. I love this tune. Definitely love this tune. Coming at number 2, and I can't wait to hear Mike's explanation on his number on this. But coming at number 2, Who Wants to Be Lonely? Damo.
Man, this is probably not my favorite Kiss song. I don't know if I tell you what my favorite Kiss song is, but this is probably like number 2 on my top favorite Kiss songs.
Wow, that's big.
Number 1 being Let's Put the X in Sex, being my favorite Kiss song of all time.
I want to go with Mike D on that one. I'm going to have to go with Mike on that one.
Yeah, but and I'm absolutely serious about that. Yeah, I gave this one a 10, man. It's a great song. I mean, this should have been a fucking smash hit. It should have been a really, really big hit. But maybe it had to do with the video. It was a weird looking video. I don't know. Maybe if they would have got like who was the guy who did all the videos like back then, like Wayne Isham
did all the Bon Jovi stuff.
Yeah, they should have got him, or somebody like that.
He might have said, "Paul, listen, the sailor hat, maybe not so much."
Yeah, but you know what? Regardless, great song, and it's one of the better ones, I think. Oh, and it was written by another Jean Boivois, Desmond Child.
Both of them, yeah, and Stanley.
Right. So.
Yep, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, I agree. I give this a 10. I think this is a killer song. I mean, it's so slinky and sexy, and especially, I mean, like, I'm trying to think. I was just trying to figure out in my mind. I'm probably like 16 years old or whatever in 1985. And it's one of those things where you see that video, and there's these girls, and they're falling in and out of the water and everything. You're just like, that's what you want to be. I mean, and this is one where it definitely. Paul, when they took the makeup off, definitely had the most fun. Now he can just run around. He's, half the video, he's not even playing guitar, and he's doing all the dancing, right? And I mean, he's on fire. And I mean, this one more than anything, it's funny. And if you remember on MTV at the time, this video was in like heavy rotation. It was on all the time.
Yep.
I think this is a standout song, definitely one of the best on the album, and really, really a killer Kiss song for sure.
Mike D.
Gave this one a 6. I think maybe because it reminded me of the Immigrant Song with Paul. I don't know, but that seems to be, if you mark this on a curve, that's a high score on this album for me. So
true.
Yeah.
True. Who wants to be lonely? I gave it a 10. I definitely gave it a 10. It's a great tune. In my opinion, it should have been bigger than what it was. Same thing Dame said. Good lyrics. Actually like the lyrics of this one too. Paul Stanley sounds great. Well written tune, written by Stanley, Desmond Child, and Jean Beauvoir. I like the overall guitar sound on the song. All the parts are there. It's all there for the making of a great song. It should have been a hit. But like Dame said, Dame pretty much said what I said. It should have been a huge hit, but maybe the outfits in the video did it. It's exactly what I wrote. I wrote the same thing. I don't know. I don't know. It was colorful back then. The only person that got away with that was, Cyndi Lauper and the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior got away with it.
The Ultimate Warrior could have been in Asylum era Kiss.
Yeah, he had the colors. He did. All right, coming in at number 1. Tears Are Falling. What do you got, Damo?
Man, it's a great single, killer song. There was like a pattern, if you notice, like Lick It Up, Animalize, and Asylum. They all had like really big, like anchor
Singles.
Lick It Up, Heaven's on Fire, and Tears Are Falling. It's like a trifecta, like 3 killer songs on 3 straight albums, year after year.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my favorite Kiss songs of all time. I don't think it's as good as Who Wants to Be Lonely as a 10. I gave it a 9.95.
It was close. It was close for you.
Yeah.
What do you got, Matt?
Yeah, I rank this also as a 10. I think it's fantastic. It's funny, whoever was deciding on the singles for this album, taking Tears Are Falling and Who Wants to Be Lonely as singles, really knew what they were doing, because I think they are the 2 standout tracks on the album. This one, again, the same thing. You think about that video, when he slow motion turns to the girl and there's sprinklers going off or whatever. But even this is another one that has like that Bruce Kulick solo that you could sing, like you can sing that in your head as its own piece. That's just phenomenal. There's just something about that. This song is so melodic, and then like anytime you have a guitar solo, I mean, Ace is the same way. You could sing them as their own song.
Yep.
But this, and then that coupled with the video, like at the time, again, being that age and they all look cool. I mean, yeah, you can say that too much colorfulness or like, a pink coat or things like that, but they really, I think they outdid themselves. I love this. This is really one of my favorites, certainly of the whole non-makeup era.
Mike D.
Yeah, I would probably say this is definitely one of their better 80s songs. I gave this a 7. And like in the background, like there's a lot of little subtle things going on with the music too. Like there's like, I don't know, it sounds like there's scratch boards and stuff like that. Like, but it's a cool little song.
Talking about, yeah.
Yep. Tears Are Falling. I gave it a 10. How could any Kiss fan not like this song? It's the goods. Great opening, cool riff, good lyrics, good melody. Paul sounds great. Great pre-chorus, great chorus. It's a definite hit. There's no doubt about it. Bruce's solo's amazing. Melodic and tasty. That's what I wrote for the solo. And in my opinion, the best tune on the record for me. I mean, these guys said it. This and Who Wants to Be Lonely should have been 2 big hits. And I actually like the video for Tears Are Falling. I think it's a good video.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
I think it's a good video. Okay, as we wrap up Asylum, Damien.
So before we go on that, right? Everybody has to take a little dance break. Ready? Dun, 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 come on in. Dun, 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 dun. We're having too much fun.
Yeah, Paul was having a good old time.
Yeah.
A good old time. Damien gave it a 7.84. Matt gave it a 7.9. Mike D gave it a 5.48. I rounded it up just a slight, Mike.
Oh, I thought I had 5.5 on my end.
5.8, I think it rounded up to. But I gave it an 8. So overall, a 7.305. So 7.3 pretty much for Asylum. Let's go with final thoughts. Let's start with Damo.
It's really grown on me over the years. This album, at one point, it was definitely one of my least favorite ones from the decade. I always go by decade. 70s Kiss, 80s Kiss for some reason. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, but that's just how I visualize it. But Yeah, I think it's right now. It's one of my favorite records. I think it's really underrated. I mean, people talk about some other records. I think it's better than Animalize. I like it better than Lick It Up. Whether it's I think Look It Up's an incredible album, but I like Asylum, as a whole, a lot more than those. And aside from the album cover, I think it's really held up.
I don't mind the album cover. I really don't mind the album cover.
You know what? And it's funny because I have a T-shirt with the album cover. So
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I'm weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but that's a common thread. Like I said, I was on a bunch of different podcasts over the years, and that's the first thing everybody goes, "Oh, this is like the worst album cover ever." And you go, "I don't know, I'm not seeing it," but I always liked it. I always thought it looked cool.
I thought so too, and I liked that. If when you went to the concert, they had that oversized. Remember the programs? I don't know if they're still making them.
I
They had that
have
oversized program. That's a great program. That's a great
I got
program.
an Asylum program.
We got where Eric cars with like in chains, like there's like them kind of pictures, right? Or in that one,
from that photo shoot.
Used to love the Kiss programs. Matt, what you got for your final thought?
You know what? I really love the album. I mean, especially it's funny because a lot of time one of the things that we talk about is the idea that, where were you when this came out? So like I'm in high school. So like to me, I really have a lot of memories of high school with that, and that era and the people that you were hanging out with at the time or whatever. And it being really they were everywhere. Like Kiss was kind of back because it was really super popular on MTV. So I really always have quite a bit of fondness for this album because I think that era was just a very good time. And I like all these songs. And I thought it was really fun that you paired Dress to Kill and Asylum together to do it back to back, 10 years apart. So both are going to be having, anniversaries, big 40 and 50 anniversaries. But really, I think it just shows you two kind of different versions. Like where Dress to Kill is raw and rougher, and this is a little more slick, but still both easy to love. So
absolutely. Mike D, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This one was not my thing. I can't say for sure because I haven't heard a lot of their albums in a long time. This might be my least favorite Kiss album. Maybe Hot in the Shade might be around there too, but I think it's this one. I think All Night does it. And that was the capper at the end of it. That was just
perfect song to finish it off for you.
Yes, perfect song.
My final thoughts is I like this album. It has two songs that hit the 10 mark for me, but it also has a lot of real good filler songs on it too that I think are still good. The songs that stand out really stand out on the record. It's Bruce First's official Kiss record, and he sounds great on it. It's funny because when I do listen to the 80s Kiss, and I still have so much fun. All of them might not be my favorites, but like I said, I was talking about the Jericho thing and they were doing the Kiss covers or whatever. I find myself smiling when I hear the songs. It could be any one of these songs, Like I just love it. I just have a good time, and I love the 70s Kiss. I love the 80s Kiss just as equal, and the 90s, and that's just my band, So yeah. So there's not
I think
much.
you're right. You're right on the money with that. Is the fact that all this stuff, even the songs that maybe aren't as good, you still smile through them. Unless you've had a handful of mushrooms or whatever. Mike is having a bad problem with the Gene and Paul on either side. But I mean, that's the thing. Even the worst songs, they put a smile on your face. And that's all it's about. There's not a gloomy song on either of these albums. So it's just which is really, being depressed is easy. It's not being depressed takes work. So.
Yeah, it's like I always say, even if you want to go where people are like, oh, Paul Stanley, Paul Stanley and David Lee Roth remind me so much of each other because if you get it, you love it, or you could be totally annoyed by it. So it goes either way. It's either you love it and you get the funness of it, or you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love it. See David Lee Roth. I don't even need him to sing. Just let him talk nonsense. I love it. It's the best. And Paul, same thing. His raps, I totally get a kick out of. Where some people are like, what the hell's this? But it works for me. It makes me smile. Okay, so Matt, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure. Glad to be back.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
We did give the record a 7.305, like I said. Matt, do you want to plug anything again? So I don't say it wrong?
just look, if anybody listened to me yammer on about Kiss for an hour and a half, come to thekissroom.com. That's my show. I'm still every second Friday of the month. We're live on Montco Radio, 3 to 5. Just something fun to do to talk about Kiss. Last month in January, we had the guys from Tease. Obviously, everybody that knows Tease and Roughhouse in this area. They're re-releasing their original 1985 Tease album. So I had those guys on, great fun. I mean, and it goes back to, a lot of it is, you talk to people that were influenced by Kiss or that had fun with Kiss or that people that I like. So I have them on the show to just talk about what they're doing. And so that's really the main thing that I'd plug is if you go to thekissroom.com, that's what I'm doing.
And the show
live on the radio.
Montco Radio. And tonight we're on the radio.
On the radio.
Is the show bi-weekly?
It's once a month only.
Once a month.
I'm live once a month. And that way, I like to always say it's once a month, kind of like those old Kiss Super specials, all glossy paper rather than just, newsprint. So it's just, and plus that way, there's only, I feel like it makes it a special event. If I'm on too much, people would be like, well, I'll listen to you next week. And then they never listen. But so I try and just keep it fun, just fun for myself. Plus I've gotten really lazy over the years. So it's once a month is enough.
Well, tune in to Matt Porter on the Kiss Room and maybe win your chance of another air guitar. We've got the air guitars are available.
We give away the official Kiss Room air guitars every time.
Get the Paul Stanley Iceman.
Right. Whatever model you like. We got a lot of them.
Absolutely. Well, mixtapes and tasty cakes, Matt. Thank you so much. Hope to have have you on again soon.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, let's not wait a year.
Yeah, no, we're gonna.
Was it a year already?
Yeah, it's been about a year. Ace Frehley was about a year ago.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I can't wait. We got to do a Crazy Nights one eventually.
It'd be fun.
That one's gonna be. You know what?
Yeah.
Before we sign off, I absolutely love that record. I love it. I love it. Okay, guys. We'll see you all soon. Mixtapes and tasty cakes. Thanks, you, Matt.
Guys.
Take care. Talk to you
care.
soon.
Thanks, man.